Looking to organize your home or need some kitchen tips? This video has many home organization techniques and kitchen tips that are simple and practical at the same time. Grab a cup of chai or coffee and save all the tips that you like the most. So let's begin. If you wish to make your own spice box but almost at no cost, then consider this easy DIY solution where we make use of muffin liners to create sections inside any box of your choice. I like to store whole spices and also make a separate tadka box this ways. Let me know if you like the idea. My go-to solution to line my baking tins is by using this simple method of creating a perfect circular liner, which involves using a baking paper. This takes only 20 seconds to make and you will have for yourself just the right liner. No need to buy liners anymore. Simply measure the radius after folding the paper and then cut to size. Adhere it to the bottom of the pan by brushing some oil and also apply oil on the liner for easy removal later on. This one time I had many handmade baskets that I wanted to use to create a beautiful decorative wall. First is this double-sided tape that is pretty thick and sticks to almost anything. It gets pretty strong too after a couple of hours. These sticky pads help to hang flat things like plates. And then there are various kinds of command hooks and strips in many sizes that are a great renter-friendly solution. This is how they are removed correctly. To stick the pads, it was mentioned in the instructions to apply water on the backside and then leave it on for some time. So now the backside of all the things are sorted. All I needed to do was use command hooks to hang everything. This is a great renter-friendly hack to decorate your walls and your home. Using vacuum bags to store blankets or even winter clothes is pretty common these days. But I've also used them in a slightly different way. Since I like to have a number of decorative cushions in my home, I also need to store the ones not in use in the backup from time to time. This is when these bags come in super handy. My trick is to keep pressing the bag while vacuuming, since that way the package remains flat and doesn't look hideous, if you know what I mean. I tuck the thin package anywhere in my home after that and bring these things out as and when needed. If you happen to use stainless steel in your homes too, but are sort of not happy with the unappealing rainbow rings on it, then I have the best solution. Boiling a bit of vinegar and water in the affected pan does the trick. Do this for a couple of minutes and then simply wash it away. Doesn't even need any soap cleaning since we haven't used anything harmful really. I'm sure all homemakers are always on the lookout for some little tricks to make things easier in the kitchen. So if you're in a rush and need roasted peanuts, then simply microwave them for a while. I think I did mine for about 4 to 5 minutes. Allow them to cool down before storing, since that is when they turn back to being crispy. I don't use this tip all the time, but it does come in handy on certain occasions. To keep air fryer clean, one can simply line the bottom part with an aluminium foil. Amazing, right? This trick is helpful if your existing liners are over or you really don't have any. Now this liner collects all the excess oil on the bottom and hence allows for easy cleanup. It can be a little difficult to organize things for the home temple, but I prefer to use my own ways and methods. And the key is to not do things in a boring way for me. I keep cotton wicks and incense sticks in these bamboo boxes and the long box. The majority of these items can be found at various handicraft fairs or handicraft stores. I also like to make use of baskets with lids of different sizes to store the remaining things. They can be stacked due to the lids. The uses are actually endless, so the same baskets can be utilized to store extra things in the home, and when kept covered, they also act as decorative elements. I found these two basic hooks that have a sticky back and that can be applied to any flat surface and utilized in a straightforward manner. My microfiber cloths, which I use to clean my kitchen countertop and other surfaces, are typically tucked away using these hooks. Sometimes all that's needed is to be a little neat and precise to make things more organized, so you don't need organizers. If we flatten the packets of extra grocery items and then stack them with the box turned sideways, we can easily adjust more things in the same space. Not just that, everything will be much more visible than before. I also sometimes use this method to stack my folded clothes in the wardrobe. Try out and let me know what you think. I like to use a large Lazy Susan and a few glass jars to store all my pulses together in one corner of the cabinet. This way they are nicely available in one section of the cabinet that is usually pretty hard to reach. During winter time last year, I experimented with this idea where we make use of the orange peel in a creative way. Basically, the idea is to make your own candle with everything available at home. Simply cut the orange peel into half from the center and remove the peel carefully. Make sure you don't break the pith that is also in the center. I lined one half over the other for double protection. Now use any carrier oil to light up the pith and you will have your very own candle at zero cost. You must have heard of masala chai, but today I bring to you a very easy masala coffee that all coffee lovers out there should definitely try. We will be adding a couple of dry spices to our coffee powder, some of which are cinnamon, ginger and nutmeg powder. Find the complete details in the description box. After that, simply add hot milk and sugar if you like. Trust me, your guests will be pleasantly surprised after drinking this. If, like me, you also struggle with cutting jaggery into smaller pieces, then this trick is for you. Not always, but sometimes, depending on the variety of jaggery we got, cutting it into pieces becomes next to impossible. The trick is to microwave the bigger blocks starting with just 10 seconds. Do a bit more if needed, but not too much. And at that point, it will get soft enough to cut easily. I have saved a ton of time in the kitchen with this simple idea, and that is by making use of a wide mouth funnel. It helps to refill all the jars without any spills and much faster, since one doesn't need to be super precise when transferring the ingredients. I especially spill besan or gram flour each time I am filling a jar with it. Suji or semolina once spilled on the floor or the counter is very difficult to clean. I'm sure you'll agree. So try using this and save a ton of time afterwards. I like all things in the kitchen to have a proper home. Here's a simple bamboo organizer which is also available in many different colors and materials these days. So this can be used to store and organize all kinds of kitchen rolls like cling wraps, baking papers, etc. It also helps with tearing them super neatly. Back in India, buying cream cheese over the counter was sort of expensive, and now finally I found the best recipe to make it at home in 2 minutes. Technically, it needs only one thing, and that is paneer. But to add more flavor, I am also adding 2 cloves of roasted garlic. Blending everything with a little bit of milk to get the right consistency. Well, this dip or spread can now be used in so many ways. One can also make different versions where the possibilities are endless, like making an herbed version or simple pepper cream cheese or chili cream cheese with some chili flakes. I also like to serve this dip alongside nachos and chips to my guests, and to add a bit of variety in the flavors, this makes for a nice combination along with cutlets and snacks aside from our usual green chutneys with the sandwiches. I have shared many recipes especially for guests using this dip. Please consider checking those videos out. Indian kitchens have their spices as the heart of cooking. But if we can also display them beautifully, then nothing like it. I found these suction-based shelves in IKEA long ago, and I decided to use them to display colorful spice bottles in the kitchen because why not? It's a simple way to add some character to any kitchen space and make it look stylish. I was kinda done with cleaning the base of the oven with all the drippings. Sometimes I didn't even know what really fell on it. Any which ways, I found a simple solution. So this time I cleaned the oven once and for all and finally added an oven liner to the base. Which world was I living in, right? I had no idea about this simple thing. But after this, the cleanup has become much easier. If you've got very little, teeny tiny space in your drawer, then it can be perfectly utilized and organized this ways. I had some kitchen napkins that I organized using the bamboo drawer divider. It helps with keeping all the napkins neatly tucked in one corner of the drawer and makes everything look neat. These were just a few of the many tricks I had in my kitty. Please do mention the one tip in the comment section that you found most useful. Here's Home Gupshup signing off. See you all later, folks.